You can repeat it.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayana Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
गंदा नहीं पहनती हो, पानी में डाल देना, कोई बात नहीं, दे रही हूँ ना।
हरे कृष्ण हरे
Mukam karoti vachalam. You can unmute yourself. Mukam karoti vachalam.
Mukam karoti vachalam.
Pangum langayate giram.
Pangum langayate girim.
Yat krupatamaham vande. Paramananda madhavam. Yat krupatamaham vande. Paramananda madhavam. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Brinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. You can follow.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Rama
Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji,
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranam.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, pranam.
Everybody, pranams to everybody. Okay, so you have seen up to 15th shloka, right? In chapter 9, where the chapter 9 is about Bhishma Deva leaving his body. So he has given, they have given the account of all these sacred munis and sages and everybody, how they were present there. And then he started telling how the Pandavas were sad to see their grandfather, in that stage. And Sri Krishna was also there, the Lord Krishna. So how he was he started talking to Yudhishthira, his grandson Dharmaraja, and what he was telling. He started telling some things to Dharmaraja as a grandfather, as the head of the family, before he left. Even though he fought against them, he knew Dharma was with them, and he knew Lord Krishna himself was with them, and he was very happy about the outcome also. And then he says that, he's also trying to console them by saying things like, in my opinion, everything is inevitable due to inevitable time. So Kala has that mahatya, it has that power. Everything is under the power of the time. So under whose control everyone in the planet is carried, just as the clouds are carried. How the clouds are even the clouds are carried away by the wind. That's how time takes us through all the things. So everyone is under the control of this planet, he's saying. So and then in the last shloka, yesterday you must have seen, then he says, how wonderful is the influence of this inevitable time. It is irreversible. Otherwise, how can there be reverses in the presence of King Yudhishthira? That means King Dharmaraja. He is the son of the Dharma Devata itself. So, why would there be any reverses? That means the time is always, in the end, follows Dharma. That's what he's saying. So, how wonderful is the influence of this time, because it's irreversible. Because in the presence of King, how can there be reverses? That means, how can the time go against Dharma? Because especially towards Yudhishthira, because he's the son of Dharma itself. The Bhima, the great fighter with a club, and the great bowman Arjuna, and the son of Dharma, Dharmaraja, all these great Pandavas, Arjuna with his Gandiva, and above all, the Lord and the direct well-wisher of the Pandavas. How can the time go against this? How can it become irreversible when all these Dharma-following people and the Lord himself, the greatest Supreme Lord, is there? Then of course Dharma is going to be in there, and the time will be, favorable to them. That's what he's saying. How can it go against them? He was saying. That was the last shloka you must have seen yesterday. And then he's continuing. Nahi asya karhi chitrajan puman veda vidhitsitam yad vijignashaya yukta muhyanti kavayopihi. So he's saying, King, no one knows what's the plan of the Lord Krishna is. Karhichit, whatever, O King Raja, he's addressing Dharmaraja, and he's saying, Puman Veda Vidhit Sitam. So no one knows his plan, Yet Vijignashaya, with that means with people may inquire, in an exhaustive manner, you can make many inquiries. Muhyanti kavayopihi. But even great philosopher, kavayo means all the philosophers, like all the pandits, all these people also, they have become bewildered. They also don't understand the plan of the Lord, he's saying. No one understands the plan of the Lord. Even though all these great kavayo, all these philosophers, they try so much in an exhaustive manner. They have made attempts to understand it, but they all have been muhyanti. All are still confused. They are bewildered. They don't understand the plan of the Lord Krishna. So no matter how great Kavi or Pandit or whoever you are, wisdom, how much wisdom you have, you cannot understand the plan of the Lord, he was saying. So even Maharaja Yudhishthira's bewilderment, he was saying, yesterday's class, you must have seen how he was so sorry about all his past sinful acts and everything that he has done. Because he's the son of Dharma, he feels bad. He knows that it is, when you go into war, you have to do certain things. In spite of that, he says, I know that when you rightfully kill, for people who rightfully, kill an enemy in the war, it is okay. But for me, I have done so many sins and I have, caused the suffering of so many women. So I feel like I'm really under all these sinful acts. He was just feeling sad about all that. So he and then he negated the authority of Bhishma, he was saying. So he felt bad that he fought against his grandfather. So Bhishma wanted to impress this Dharmaraja, and then he said, even from the beginning, from the beginning of the time, even demigods such as Shiva and Brahma and all, they could ascertain the real plan of the Lord. So, I mean, even they couldn't understand the plan of the Lord. So, how can we understand about it? It is useless to inquire about it, because he said that they have all inquired exhaustively and they're still bewildered. So, there is no point in trying to understand what the Lord's plan is, because no one really understands it. So, and the suffering of the Pandavas also were not due to their past deeds, the purport is saying. The Lord executed the plan of establishing this dharma, the kingdom of virtue, dharma, and therefore his own devotees suffered temporarily in order to establish the conquest of virtue. So we may think that Pandavas had to go through all the sufferings maybe because they had some past karmas. No, it's not the reason. The Lord wanted to establish a kingdom of dharma. So because of the Lord's wish, as a devotees, all these Pandavas also have cooperated. They have done what the Lord wanted to do. They have participated in his sacred plan, and they have suffered temporarily in order to establish this virtue, they're saying. But Bhima was very happy to see the triumph of their virtue. He was glad to see his brother Yudhishthira on the throne, all that. But I mean, Bhishma Deva was very happy, although he fought against them. So he was happy that finally Dharma won. They would say, this is what the purport is saying. But because Bhishma was a great devotee of the Lord, and he chose to fight against the Pandavas, because the Lord wanted to show that a fighter like Bhishma cannot win on the wrong side. This is also the will of the Lord, the purport is saying. So why did Bhishma? Of course, in the story we say that he had to follow the political dharma because he's on the side of whoever the king of the Kuru dynasty is. He has to follow them. But what we really have to understand is, it is the will of the Lord that he should be fighting against the Pandavas, because even a great fighter like Bhishma will not win if he is on the wrong side. That the Lord wanted to prove this thing to everybody that read the Mahabharata or Bhagavatam. To all the people like us, we understand that even if you are on the wrong side, no matter how great you are, you will not win if you are on the side of the adharma. That is what the purport is saying. So anyway, he said in the shloka, Bhishma was saying, nobody can understand the plan of the Lord Krishna. So great. So because we will think, why did Bhishma, he is such a big devotee of Krishna, he loves Pandavas so much, he knows their right, he knows he has the dharma, and why did he still, for that one rule that he has to be on the king's side, why did he do that? So the purport is telling us, no one understands the plan. It is God's plan that he needs to be on the wrong side, because it is a proof that no matter how great you are, you cannot be on the wrong side. If you are on the wrong side, you will lose. So Bhishma is saying, nobody understands the plan of the Lord. Even great people, they've tried exhaustively, but they have been still in mukyati. That means in confusion. Tasmadidam daivatantram vyavasya bharatarshava tasyanu vihito nadha pahi praja prabho. So tasmat means therefore this daivatantram, this God's plan, the enchantment that he is doing, is the this is all his plan. Accepting this inconceivable plan of the Lord, you must follow it. Tasyanu vihito nadha. So as desired by him, helpless, O master, just take care of the subjects, Prabhu. So he's saying, you are now appointed as the administrative head, and my lord, you should now take care of these subjects who are now rendered helpless. So he's already calling him as the king. And well, I maintain, therefore, all this is within the plan of the Lord. So Bhishma is saying, so descendant of Bharata, that is Dharmaraja, please accept that, don't think this is your fault, because he was lamenting that he did so much papa by, with this Kurukshetra war. So he says everything is God's plan. So everything is within his plan. Accept this unconceivable plan of the Lord, he's saying. So according to his plan, anuvitaha, whatever God's desire is, you have to follow that. So according to his plan, you must follow it. You are now the appointed administrative head. So you are the king now. And my lord, you should now take care of those subjects. So he's also calling him Lord Nada, means master, because he's the king. So he's saying, already this is God's plan. You have become the king. So, oh Lord, you should now take care of those subjects, all your subjects who are helpless. They're looking at you. You have to take care of them, he's saying. So, Pahi Praja. So he's saying, Nada Pahi Praja Prabhu. So you have to take care of these people now. You are the Lord. So, the devotees don't have to learn, usually the Lord teaches the world by teaching the devotee. But devotee does not have to learn anything new from the Lord, because the Lord teaches sincere devotees always from within. He's always giving us directions. Even the Bhagavad Gita says that, Gnana Deepena Bhasvata, I am in your heart, and I light the knowledge, lamp of knowledge. So, so even what we learn, well, Bhagavad Gita, people, less intelligent people can learn, but those who are pure devotees, they don't, they already know what the Lord has told them, and that is why they have come to that stage. So devotee's duty is to accept the tribulations from the Lord as a benediction. So what does that mean? Whatever comes in your way, whether it is a hardship or whether it is a joyful thing, accept it as a benediction. That means as a vara, as a prasada from God. So anything that comes to us, the devotee accepts it as a prasada. So that is the quality of the devotee. That is the self-surrendership, Atmanivedana. That is what we call Sharanagata Tattva. So when you have that Sharanagata Tattvam, whatever comes from the Lord, you treat it as a prasada. So not like when something good happens, you're like, oh, I'm happy. And then something bad happens, you're like, God, why did you do this to me? So you're questioning, you're judging. So the devotee never does that. The devotee, whatever God gives him, he accepts it. How? Not because he doesn't have a choice. He accepts it as a prasad of the Lord happily. So that is without that is the how a real devotee is. So the Pandavas were advised by Bhishma to accept the responsibility of this administration without any hesitation, because this is the plan of the Lord. He has given you this position, take it and take care of the people who are dependent on you. They're all dependent on you now. You have to take care of your subjects. So this is what he said. So they were after the battle of Kurukshetra, they're all confused. All the people, they're awaiting who, is Dharmaraja going to be our king? Is he going to show us the way? So he said, the devotee will always accept the tribulations as favors from the Lord, because he's absolute. There is no difference between the Lord and the devotee, he's saying. So mainly he was consoling Dharmaraja and saying, this is all the plan of the Lord. So now he has appointed you as the administrative head. So you have to take that position and you help all these helpless people who are looking towards you for help. The next shloka, he says, Esha vai Bhagavan Sakshad Adyo Narayana Puman Mohayan Mayaya Lokam Gudhascharati Vrishnishu. So this Sri Krishna, who is he? He is no other than the Bhagavan himself, Deva. Bhagavan Sakshat Adyo Narayana Pumam. He is Sakshat Narayana. The Supreme Lord, Puman, Supreme Enjoyer. That means Bhokta. He is the Bhokta of everything. He is the Supreme Lord. Sri Krishna. Who is he? Sakshat Narayana. He is saying, Mohayan Mayaya Lokam Gudhascharati Vrishnushi. So he is putting everybody in this moha. He is bewildering everybody with his moha. He's making everybody go through this moha because of his self-created energy. That means he's moving amongst all these descendants of Vrishni. Vrishni Vamsha means Yadu Vamsha, right? So he's born in the Yadu Vamsha, but we think that and making people think he's a human, in the human form. But who is he? He's moving among these Yadavas, and he's bewildering us with his self-created energy. The energy of the Lord is also his own. The energy is not from anything. This energy did not come to the Lord. The point self-created energy means he's saying that God himself has that energy. It's not something that when we have energy, we get it from something. We get it from sunlight, we get it from the food we eat. All these things, they nourish us and they provide us energy. But God's energy is self-created because everything is within him. So such a Lord, even he's born among these Yadavas, and he's making us think that he's just one of the Yadavas, but he's bewildering us with his self-created Gudhascharati Vrishnushi. That means he's inconceivable and he moves. Charati, he's moving among this Vrishni family, this Yadava dynasty. He's moving there, but he is inconceivable, he's saying. So, and then Maya means he's self-created with his Maya, his own energy. So this is nothing. He is nothing, no other than the Supreme Lord, and he is bewildering everybody with his Maya, moving around these Yadavas. He is making us think he is normal, but he is no other than the Supreme Lord, is what he is saying. Here, Bhagavan Krishna is the original personality of Godhead and the first Narayana. Even Adi Shankaracharya also, at the beginning of his commentary on Bhagavad Gita, he said that Narayana is beyond the material creation. So the universe is one of the material creations, but Narayana is beyond all these material creations. So Bhishma Dev is one of the 12 Mahajanas who knows the principles of this knowledge. He is one of the 12 Mahajanas. So his confirmation of Krishna being the Deva, Supreme Personality, is also corroborated by by Shankaracharya. So all other acharyas also have confirmed this statement. So there is no chance of not thinking Krishna is not the original personality, because everybody, including Shankaracharya and Bhishma Deva, who is one of the 12 Mahajanas, also have confirmed, and all the other acharyas also have confirmed this fact. So there is no chance to think that Krishna is not the original personality. So Bhishma says he is the first Narayana. This is also confirmed by Brahmaji in Bhagavatam. So Krishna is the first Narayana. In the spirit